Huh. Time is on my side. Yes, it is. You always say that you wanna be free.
Now you always say that you wanna be free, but you that you would, baby.
Time is on my side, but only if I use it wisely. A few years ago, a hog farmer living over in Louisiana spoke to his neighbor about taking his hogs to market. I read in the newspaper where I can get me 16 and a quarter cent a pound on the hoof for them hogs over in Baton Rouge, he declared. So are you going to take them hogs over to Baton Rouge? His neighbor asked him. No, he said, I don't think so. You see, I've been reading in that farm journal where I can take them hogs over to Omaha and get me 18 and a quarter cent a pound on the hoof for them. Omaha? The neighbor exclaimed. Are you talking about Omaha, Nebraska? He said, I sure am. Man, he said, the man said, you done gone crazy, man. He said, you think about the time, man, the time. You think about the time it's going to take to get them hogs over to Omaha. The farmer replied calmly. Oh, shoot, man. He said, what time to a hog? As the 2023 holiday season winds down, I find myself thinking about how quickly time flies. Maybe not to hogs, but certainly for us humans, especially us older humans. While before we know it, it'll be Christmas again. Another year gone by and another year older. Time may have been on Rolling Stone Mick Jagger's side when he sang that song back in 1964. But I wonder if Mick feels that way now that he's over 80. When I was a child, I recollect time passing by so slowly. Summer vacations, Christmas holidays seemed to last forever. I thought I'd never get to be 12 years old. Then 16 seemed like it would never come. Then 18 and finally graduated from high school and all growed up into an adult. I wasted a great deal of time when I was young because I felt I had so much of it. In my senior years, I've often pondered what profound bit of wisdom I might give to a young person that would be of the most value to them. Without exception, I would shout from the rooftops, quit wasting so much time. A few years ago, my wife suffered a brain aneurysm, followed by a miraculous recovery over a period of time, and after brain surgery by a young surgeon who looked to me as if he was not yet out of high school. I'm serious. I marveled when I first looked at the young doctor and read his resume on a large plaque on the wall at Shands University Hospital in Gainesville, Florida. How many times have you performed this procedure? I asked him curiously. Over 1,000 times, he replied. This is a fairly new surgical procedure, and when I'm not performing surgery on patients, I travel to other teaching hospitals, and I teach this procedure to other surgeons. I teach them how to do it. How much education do you have? I asked him. Well, he said, I completed medical school and the necessary residencies to become a regular doctor. And then I completed my education to specialize in neurology, and then to become a neurosurgeon. And then I attended 2 more years of medical training just to learn how to do this procedure that I've just performed on your wife. I looked the short and pudgy young man up and down. His expensive dress trousers were way too long for him and were actually dragging on the floor. They hadn't been hemmed yet, and the cuffs were pinned up with a couple of safety pins. He seemed to care less about his pants. I felt sure he was older than he looked, but still I wondered what this young man had been like when he was only, say, 10 years old, or maybe 14 or 16. Was he wasting his time shooting spitballs and thumping his buddies' ears in class like I was? Or was he doing his homework and studying his textbooks and seriously considering where he would go to college and what he would do with his life? I could only guess that, having accomplished so much so far, he had not wasted as much time as I had. Some years ago, a prosperous farmer over in the Florida Panhandle bought for himself a brand new yellow Piper Club airplane. Sam, he said to his chief hired man, he said, "Sam, how'd you like to go up for a ride with me in my new airplane?" "Oh, no, sir," the hired man quickly responded. "I'm not about to go up in one of those darn things." Somewhat amused by the hired man's adamant response, the farmer replied, "Well, now, wait just a minute, Sam. And I know you're a Christian, and you believe that when your time comes, you're going. Isn't that right?" "Well, that's right, Mr. Henry." He said, "I believe when my time comes, I'm going. I believe that all right, I sure do," said the hired man. "Well, then," the farmer retorted with a bemused smirk on his face, "in that case, I just don't understand why you won't go up in the airplane with me." "Well, there's just one little thing you don't seem to understand," the hired man quickly responded. "You see, Mr. Henry, me and you, we might get up there in that airplane and your time liable to come." It's written in the book of Ecclesiastes that to everything there's a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven, a time to be born and a time to die. No doubt, in due time, all things will come to pass, some things sooner, some things later. But even the later will come soon enough. The most important question is, what will we do with our time to prepare for those inevitable, intermittent, defining events which make up a life and determine our next level of pursuit? If my wife's neurosurgeon had chosen to spend his school years having a good old time shooting spitballs and thumping his buddies' ears in class, perhaps even dropping out of school, instead of studying and working hard and paying attention in class, he would surely have never become an accomplished surgeon, and he would have never saved the life of my wife and countless others. Now, I've often wondered if hell itself might not be the condition of coming to a full realization of knowing what we could have done with our lives if we had worked just a little bit harder. If only we had used our time a little more wisely. Time might not mean too much to a hog or to a child, but it means an awful lot to us old-timers who've almost run out of it.